Know your Lord. We learn about his names and his attributes. Know your Lord. What he approves and disapproves. Know your Lord. Believe in all things that he has brought forth. Know his oneness, Lord.
Know Your Lord, part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, right here on Sunnahfollowers. Being taught by Ustada Layla Nashiba as she lays down the foundations to get you together. Learn about your Lord. Know your Lord. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Assalamu alaikum. Get to know your Lord. First part of the Right Belief series by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid. This dynamic literary work of art's main goal is to revive an understanding the names and attributes of Allah. And understanding the name and attributes of Allah will elevate our faith, strengthen us, and keep us steadfast. This wonderful book is now available in an audiobook format and can be found free of charge on YouTube, channel Kareem Abu Zaid. Get to know your Lord. You have nothing to lose.
Excuse me. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Aqidah class. And this class is based on the book written by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid entitled Know Your Lord. And again, please make sure for those of you who have not yet purchased the book is still in stock. Go to Amazon.com. The book is on sale for $18. Okay, let me put it here. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, I wrote the wrong thing. Yes, so it's Know Your Lord. You can purchase the book at Amazon. It's by Kareem Abu Zaid. The book is $18.90. I'll just say it's $18.90. Please make sure for those of you who have not yet purchased the book, please go to Amazon and pick it up. This is all the part of the correct belief system. We just finished diluting well and well better. That was the third of the trilogy. This is the first of the trilogy. Remember when we declare La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That's the testimony of faith. That's what brings us into Islam. And we are declaring that we believe that only Allah is worthy of worship. That's a big thing. Only Allah is worthy of worship. And we're also testifying that we believe in everything that he commanded us to believe in. All his angels, all his books, all his prophets, the hereafter, predestination. We're also pledging and testifying that we will obey all his commands. That means we will stay away from the things that Allah commanded us to stay away from, such as intoxicants, such as illegal sexual relations, and whatever brings us close to that. That's important. Because Allah says in the Quran, stay away from that which brings you close to the evil. That's why there is no free mingling, no free mixing in Islam. I know we're living in 2024. Here in America, you have these reformists, Muslims who are reformists. They think that they can reform Islam. They think they can change Allah's Sharia, Allah's laws. They're now allowing free mixing in the mosque. Oh, yeah. I don't care. This is not Islam. We don't free mingle like that. They're having conferences and they got the women and men sitting together on stage. They got the women standing up in front of the men giving lectures. Most of the women are not dressed properly. Their hair is showing, or hair is hanging out, or their clothing is tight fitting. This is not Islam. You know, we shouldn't be taking part in that stuff, guys. I'm going to tell you something. You shouldn't take part in those type of activities. These conferences and lectures where they're allowing this free mingling. The eyes are wondering and looking at the women, and the women are looking at the men. And that's not even counting the perfume, the fragrance, the parading around, showing off. You know, this stuff is haram. But we have these modern day here in America imams who call themselves reformists and scholars, you know, telling you that this is acceptable. That's not acceptable in Islam. The women didn't parade around the men like that. The women and men weren't sitting around holding stages together. They weren't doing that. The women were not on executive boards either. Oh yeah, this is the feminist movement now. You know, we got Muslim reformists. These imams in America call themselves scholars and reformists. They're even telling you to put the women on your executive boards in your mosques. That's not Islam. Oh no, women can't make those type of decisions. It's not a woman's job to be an imam. It's not a woman's job to govern the mosque. Allah tells us that each and every one of us is a guardian over something. The woman is a guardian over her husband's house and her children. That's it. You're not going to find no hadith where the Prophet Muhammad allowed any women to sit and hold positions like that. You're not going to find Umar, Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, none of them putting women on the boards. Umar, Abu Bakr, Ali, Uthman, they all had a cabinet. They had a cabinet of companions that were part of that cabinet that they consulted with. Those were all male companions. Aisha, when Umar became the caliph over the Muslim, he appointed Aisha as the scholar in charge of all women's issues and family issues. And also Salama, but they were not part of the cabinet. They were just people that he would consult with for advice on family, on women's issues. But Umar did not include Aisha and Salama to the cabinet. They didn't sit with the brothers. They didn't sit with Ali and all the other companions and decide on how things are going to be. That's not our job as women. That's too much for us. Our hands are tied with the home. They're supposed to be. Okay? And educating the women. Aisha devoted her life to educating the women. Okay? They were sent as Islam spread throughout the Roman and Persian Empire and across the ocean. The governors, they were male, not female. They didn't appoint women to governor positions either, Congress positions. This is a sacrilege. Women can't hold those type of positions. Every woman knows she can't. I am a woman. My position is this website. And I teach from my home. And this website is more than enough for me. I am so freaked out and stressed out over this website. I could imagine how crazy I'd be if I was on somebody's executive board of a mosque trying to make decisions. Are you crazy? That ain't us. But these are the days of fitan. And this is why Allah has brought the war. He's brought all the calamities, the earthquakes, the tornadoes, disease, and all of this, because like he promised he would do. Whenever we deviate away from his commands, there will be repercussions, and these are the repercussions. These conferences are being held all over America every day. This free mingling, interaction, women of empowerment. That's what they call them, women of empowerment. If you're so empowered, why aren't you sitting at home? Do you know how many young girls, instead of the girls getting married, these ideas of grandeur, These Western ideas of grandeur have entered and corrupted the thinking of our youth. Instead of the young girls getting married, they're telling me, I don't want to get married. I want to travel the world and I want to work like a man. So these young girls in their 20s and stuff are putting off marriage because they want to be like the Kaffir women. They want to be Western. They want to go to college, get a job, and be a man, because this is what the Kaffir women do. And then when these women realize, because working ain't easy, I just retired, it was hell. I had to work because I didn't have a husband and I didn't have nobody to provide and maintain me. Now, if you ain't got no choice to work, that's something totally different. But these young girls are throwing their lives away because they want a career and they want to travel. Then it's going to hit you. It seems fun in the beginning, because remember, the human soul, we are attracted. It's attracted to what's bad and dirty. So it seems fun that you travel the world and that you got a job, a career, and you put on your pants and you tie your hijab and you go to work every day like a dude and you hit that time clock. You sit there with the Kaffir women and you make decisions for a so-called Kaffir company and all of this. You feel empowered. That's temporary. Soon, because it's the female nature to not be able to handle that, it's going to hit you. You're going to get tired. You're going to be like, wow, I'm tired of doing this every day. I'm tired of these decisions. Oh, it's stressing me out. Oh, I'm tired of this. And then you look up, ain't nobody going to want to marry you. You're 30 years old. You become hardened by society, because you went through so many ups. You went through so many downs in your career, dealing with the fitting that only men were created to deal with. Bosses' disapproval, maybe some reprimands here and there, employees getting on your nerves, disrespecting you, committing crimes. It's going to hit you. So now in your 30s, you're going to decide, okay, I'm tired of working. Now I'm ready to get married. Well, guess what? You're so hardened by life. The good men ain't going to want you. They're going to look at you and see that you look hard. You speak hard. Life has corrupted you. And they're going to be like, I don't want to marry you. No, I want somebody more innocent. Somebody more humble, somebody more that ain't got no drama. I'm telling you, sisters, it's going to hit you. So you young girls, y'all need to put your priorities in order. I'm not saying don't go to college. You can get married and go to college. That's the best way to do it. There's online college. You can get a degree online. That's what the Kaffirs do. You can get married, have your partner in life to encourage you, to protect you, to provide for you, and get your degree online if you want a degree. But working ain't for us. You get it so you can benefit your children with it. You get that degree to educate yourself so you can be intelligent about the world and in turn teach your children. We got to get the roles back right. The prophets' wives did not work outside the house. They did not put anything before family. They did not hold positions of power and authority. They weren't on executive boards of the masjid. They didn't even want that type of crap. They were consultants. They were personal consultants to the caliph. But no God-fearing God-fearing man would put a woman in a position to have to deal with that type of decision making? Because it takes too much out of you. And that ain't her job. That's the man's job. So the roles are reversed. The roles of women and men are blurred. Why? Because we don't have our fitra. Our fitra has become weakened. Our Islamic identity has become twisted. Our priorities are lost. Our belief in Allah is not sound. We say we Muslim. We say we believe in Allah. But if you believe in Allah, would you women be doing what y'all doing? That's the question. And I ain't talking about the women that have to. I had to work. I had to. I hated and I'm going to tell y'all, I hated every day of it. Every second of it. But I had to do it. And I hated it. It almost broke me. Okay? But what kept me going was teaching. Because even though I worked 16 hours a day for 36 years, I also been sitting right here teaching 2 classes a day for 36 years. That's how I survived. If it wasn't for me teaching these classes, because by me teaching you, it's also reminding myself. It's also keeping my fitra awakened. If I wasn't a daya teaching, there's no way I would have survived those 36 years of working and come out still untainted spiritually. You girls are losing your spirituality. And you don't even know it. But it's going to come and slap you in your face when you in your 30s. Don't get it twisted. So that's why it's important for us to be regular when it comes to seeking knowledge of this deen. Like I said, those sisters here who have to work, like Amina Fresno. Amina Fresno is another woman like me. She had to work because she had no other way to survive. Okay? Anissa had to work because she had no other way to survive. We have no men to take care of us. So there was no choice. Okay? But a lot of you young girls, my Somali girls, y'all got a choice. You ain't got to work. You got fathers who take care of you. But no, you women, you girls have become Western. You've lost your identity. Y'all better reevaluate your priorities and you need to get married. You girls need to get married. That's the first thing. And then go to college from home. And forget about a career. Forget about a career. Your children is your career. Taking care of that home is your career. Y'all better get it together, Somali girls. Y'all better be like Fame. Y'all better be like Habiba. I'm so proud of Habiba. Habiba finished school and got married and moved back home to her country so that she could raise her daughters and keep them with their Muslim identity. And she works from home. Fame graduated high school, got married, got 2 beautiful future imams. She's in college as we speak from home. She's working on a degree that she can work from home and make as more money than you girls. You other Somali girls who put in your education and traveling, Fame gonna make much, much more than y'all. And she still is able to homeschool her children And she got a mane. She got a fine mane. And she'll make more money than y'all. And probably have a better relationship with Allah because her priorities are in order. You Somali girls, all Muslim girls, y'all better reevaluate. But I'm talking to my Somalis because most of my students, 98% of my students are from Somali. That y'all didn't know that, did y'all? Most of my students are from Somalia. Where y'all think I get my clothes from? Why y'all think I look good? They take care of me. My Somali girls, Norto, the twins, they keep me nicely dressed. You know, we all about fashion. Okay, so y'all need to reevaluate. You girls better get married. That should be your priority after graduating high school. Y'all need to get married and then pursue your college education from home, online. Y'all get that? Otherwise, you're going to look up, you 30, 40 years old, your life, you're broken, you have no husband, no children, nobody's going to want to marry you because you're hard. Not because you can't have children. We can have kids at the age, women get pregnant over the age of 40 all the time. Thanks to technology. Again, Allah, you take them pills, they having twins and triplets. So it ain't about not being able to have babies. You can have babies, but you're too hard and broken. What man's gonna want you? You're too hard. Your innocence is gone. I don't mean your virginity, the other part that makes you innocent. Because life will kick your behind. Working is gonna kick your butt. It's gonna toughen you up. Because it's a man's world. Whoever told you otherwise, they need to go sit down. It's a man's world. And it's going to always be a man's world. Women can march to be men. They can become transvestites. They can have sex changes. They can LGBTQ to hell and back. It's going to always be a man's world. You want to be a man, you're going to have to give up your innocence. Working hardens you. So you young girls better put them priorities in order and start getting married. When you come out of high school, tell your guardian, I'm ready to get married. And I'm going to tell you something. We got a big innovation going on. Let me keep it real. Break it down, Layla. Some of these men, your fathers, some of our daddies want us to go and work so we can take care of them. You tell your father, it ain't my job to take care of you. I'm ready to get married. Find me a husband. I'm ready to fulfill the duty and the destiny that Allah created me to do. Hello. Let's not get it twisted. Y'all better get them priorities back in order, young girls. It's about marriage. And then go to school from home. Have babies. Take that education and educate your children with it. We need more believers. There's a lot of Muslims in the world, but it ain't that many believers. If you were at home doing your job that you were created to do by Allah, instead of trying to compete with the men and be liberated with a man, then we wouldn't have this high apostasy rate. And we'd have more believers on earth than we do hypocrites. Don't get it twisted. All right, so now let's get started here with the class. That's my speech for today. And by the way, guys, when y'all go to my YouTube channel, make sure y'all look for the playlist that says Don't Get It Twisted. Because what I have been doing is when I edit, my lives are not edited. But when I redo the lives and put the class out, I edit my little talks like I just had. And I put them in the file called, the playlist called Don't Get It Twisted. Listen to my Don't Get It Twisted playlist, because they're reminders, they're reprimands that we need to take to heart as Muslim women and men. Don't get it twisted. All right, so let's get to the class. I think everybody's here now. Yeah, I was trying to make it a little bit later for my new shahadas, brother. New shahadas. Let me know y'all here, because a couple of y'all called me wanting me not to start because you wanted time to get home from work. That's the only thing, guys. This class used to be at 4 o'clock, and I changed it to 6 because a lot of my people who were still at work. And then I changed it to 6:30 because a lot of people get off work at 6 and they're trying to get home. And I don't want nobody rushing. Okay, so today I got a couple of calls from the new shahadas. Walaikum salam, Bethany. Okay, Bethany. All right. Okay, so my couple of them called me like Bethany, asking me, can I do it? You know, be late today because they didn't want to miss the class. They didn't want to miss the quiz. All right. I'm here now. Subhanallah. Y'all here now, Reverend. Okay. All right. Did you get my hey Bethany, did you listen? Did you hear my Don't Get It Twisted? You got the beginning? Yeah, Edward's here. Edward's at work, but he said he's working from his what do you do for a living, Edward? Oh gosh. He's an accountant. He said he's got it. He's working. He can hear him. He at his job working over, but he still is able to log in. You ain't got no boss over you, Eddie. He said he is the boss. Edward said, I am the boss. Make sure whatever type of accounting you're doing, you got to be careful with that. You know that, Edward, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about it, Edward. Oh, okay. He said he understands. He's not doing that. His type of accounting that he does is different. Okay, good. So you're good. You ain't dealing with no interest. You ain't keeping no interest records, are you? No, he said he ain't that. He said he the boss. Edward said he the boss. He don't do it. Do that. All right, good job, Eddie. All right, so we can make it started. Let me put the what I'm gonna do. The last time we met for this class, and by the way, there's the book. Okay, you got some new sisters here, Bethany. Okay, that's the book. Know Your Lord. It's on Amazon for $18.90. Yeah, for the new shahadas who joined, yeah, you can purchase the book on Amazon. Right, and you'll get it in 3 to 4 days. Amazon delivers quick. And Sheikh Kareem got this. He's got it stocked. Yeah. And also don't forget to get the Mekkah Tafsir. Yeah, get the Mekkah Tafsir too. Volume 1, because that's the class tonight. I'm teaching that too. So get this book and get the Mekkah Tafsir Volume 1 of Sheikh Kareem's. That one's on sale for $18.92. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they're $1 off. They're $1 off. You got a discount, $1 discount. Every little bit adds up. All right, so the last time we met for this class, we talked about how important it is for us to know Allah. That should be the priority. For all of my new shahadas, welcome to Islam. All of you are performing your prayers, and you all know how to pray. Until you Muslims learn the Fatiha, until you converts learn the Fatiha, you're going to go through all the positions. You know, you're going to go Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu wow, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Go to the floor, subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Y'all got it? Are you guys praying that way until while you learn the Fatiha and the Tashahhud? Check. They said checked off. There you go. So good job, Bethany. You've been working with those sisters too, right? Good job. Okay, so you continue completing all your prayers that way as you learn the Fatiha and the Tashahhud. And what you need to also focus on is this: Aqidah, 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 knowing your Lord. It ain't about learning how to speak Arabic. Like I did tell Sister Heidi, it ain't about learning how to speak Arabic right now. The only Arabic that any Muslim has to know is Fatiha and Tashahhud. That's it. So forget all them that Arabic stuff. And you already know that your personal supplications can be said in whatever language you speak. Y'all got that, right? You can make your personal supplications, your personal in whatever language you speak. Y'all got that? So now we're going to focus on getting to know Allah, because as we talked about the last time we met, why is it, as Brother Edward had asked me, Sister Layla, why is it that so many Muslims commit sins and they know it's a sin? Why are Muslims smoking cigarettes and stuff knowing it's haram? Well, it's because their faith is not fully embedded in their heart. We convert to Islam and we learn Arabic instead of learning what it means to believe in Allah. So let's put the quiz up on the screen. I'm going to give you a quiz. Okay, here we go. Do my PowerPoint. Hold on. Wait a minute, hold on for a second. I thought I opened it up. I guess I closed it. Okay, there it is. Now let me try it again. All right, y'all ready? There. Yeah, let me put this down too. Wait, let me make it. Y'all want me to get. Okay, here my little United Arab Emirates sisters are here. They want me to. How does it look on the phone? They want me to make it so they can see me on the phone. Okay, hold on. These sisters these are my cousins. DNA, you know, when you do that ancestry.com and 23andMe, your cousins just pop up out the woodwork. Third cousins, fourth cousins. I got a lot of third cousins and fourth cousins in here from the United Arab Emirates. I got some from Kuwait. I got some in Egypt, Alexandria. Assalamu alaikum, all the Sadats, El Sadats, all the El Sadats that y'all see in LinkedIn. Those are my relatives, El Sadat. Okay, and then the Emirates, and they like to see me. So y'all see that, right? Okay. All right, so hold on. Let me hide that. Let me make it a little bigger. Hold on. All right. What is this? That's the wrong page. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, guys. That's the wrong PowerPoint. Hold on. Oh, yep, wait a minute. Hold on. Wrong PowerPoint. I got so much on this other computer. Hold on. Let me get the right one. That was yesterday's. By the way, I did put yesterday's video up. Hold on. This is today. Today is not that. Today is, here it is. I'm sorry. No, that's the kids. Knowledge. This is the right one. I put the wrong PowerPoint up. All right, here we go. Okay, I got the right one. Hold on. That was yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday's. Well, you missed yesterday's class. That's why you're not going to do good on this quiz. I'm getting ready to pop up here. You should have been in class yesterday. Y'all got to come to class. This class is every day. I don't take breaks. There's no weekend break from Allah. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show it to you now. This is today's. Ready? Okay. There, Tuesday. Today we're going to be covering pages 13 through 16 in the book. And I know y'all like to see me, my cousin's DNA that I ain't met in real life, but here, I got to make this bigger so I can read it. Okay, so today we're going to be covering pages 13 through 16 in the book. We're going to speak about how, in order to get to know Allah, you're going to have to utilize your knowledge, your intellect, and the fitra. The fitra is going to come up again today. So, but before I get into this discussion, here's a quiz from yesterday. Those of you who missed yesterday's class, let's see if you can answer. And I ain't speaking to the Arabs in Emirates. I'm talking to the new Shahadas. First question. The more a person's knowledge of Allah increases, the more likely that person is to comply with Allah's laws. Is this statement true or false?
True.
Go ahead, say it again.
True.
Okay, what do you guys think?
I say true. I say false because it only increases if faith enters your heart. You can have all the knowledge, but if faith don't enter your heart, then you're not going to comply with the laws correctly.
What is faith, Precious? When we use the English word faith, what does faith refer to?
Your belief system.
And our belief system is belief in what?
To believe in Allah.
Believe in Allah, period. Okay, so listen to the question. The more a person's knowledge of Allah increases, the more likely that person is to comply with his laws. What does the word comply mean, Precious? Brother here from, where you from, bro? Russia? He wants to know, what does comply mean? Somebody tell him, what does the word comply mean? That's an English word. You don't.
Comply means to go along with or follow.
Exactly, to go along or follow or obey. So listen to the question. The more a person's knowledge of Allah increases, the more likely that person is to go along with Allah's laws. Is that true or false, Precious?
It's true.
Now do you get it?
Yes, I understand now. I had to read it like 2 times.
I know. And so did the brother here from Russia. He said he didn't know what comply meant. By the way, it's a good thing so I got people here from Russia too. MashaAllah. Okay. That means when I look at the YouTube stats, I'll see the country of Russia. Okay, good job. Okay, so this is true. This is what we talked about yesterday. That's why it's important to get to know about Allah. Because the more we learn about him, the more likely you will obey him, because learning about Allah makes us do what, guys, about in regards to him? Who can answer that? The more I learn about Allah, number one, it's going to make me love him. What else will it make me do?
Fear him.
Exactly. The more I learn about Allah, I'm going to love him. The more I learn about Allah, I'm going to fear his punishment. So when I fear his punishment, good job, Sister UN. Good job. The UN family is here. MashaAllah. The more that I fear his punishment, I'm not going to disobey him. So that's what we talked about yesterday, Brother Edward. He wanted to know, why is it that these brothers are smoking cigarettes? They know it's haram, but they still doing it. It's because they don't fear Allah's punishment. They need to get to know Allah more. They need to focus on Aqidah. They're too busy learning how to read the Quran in Arabic. Arabic is not going to save you from the hellfire. Arabic is a language. It's not a religion. We got to know Allah. We got to learn the meaning of his names. Learn his attributes. Okay? Learn how gentle Allah is, how merciful he is, how revengeful he is, and all of that. That'll cause us to fear him. That's why we teach the names of Allah. And by the way, make sure that all my new shahadas, make sure you guys are here this Saturday at 10 a.m. because Sister Samat from Egypt, she will be teaching the names of Allah. So make sure you guys are here this Saturday. Because learning the names of Allah, you're learning about him. Okay? Next question. What about this? We talked about this yesterday. Which came first? The obligations to Allah? The lawful and the unlawful? Or Aqidah? When the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam began to call the people to Allah, what were the first things Allah commanded him to call us to? Was it the obligations? What are the obligations? The things we have to do, like to pray, to fast Ramadan, to wear hijab and all that. Did that come first? Or did the lawful and the unlawful come first? Or did Aqidah come first?
Aqidah.
MashaAllah, good job. Good job, everybody. The Aqidah came first. Like I taught you guys yesterday, how many years did the Prophet Muhammad spend in Mecca?
13.
The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam spent 13 years in Mecca. 13 years. Those 13 years were spent teaching La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Those 13 years were spent teaching the companions Allah's names, his attributes, what it means to believe in him, what it means to believe in his books, what it means to believe in the day of judgment, and what it means to believe in paradise and hell. The Prophet spent those 13 years teaching love, hope, and fear of Allah. Not the obligations, not the lawful and the unlawful. Good job. What about this? Which came first? The laws forbidding alcohol and intoxicants? The laws of hijab? Or the obligation to pray facing Mecca? We talked about this yesterday.
I'll say the obligations to face to Mecca.
Okay, you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay.
The laws forbidding alcohol and intoxicants.
Okay. We talked about yesterday how the first 13 years were spent about Aqidah. It wasn't until the Muslims moved to Medina 13 years later. What came first? The lawful and the unlawful. It was when they moved to Medina. Right after they moved there, the first thing Allah sent down was the law saying, okay, you're now able to establish. You're in a place now where you can establish Islam. So now I'm going to lay down the laws for you to abide by. Thou shalt not drink. Thou shalt not fornicate. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not rob. Good job. So number one, the lawful and the unlawful came first. So before Allah sent down the obligations, he first sent, learn me, read in the name of your Lord, get to know about me. And then after the Muslims believed in Allah, they understood what it meant to believe in him. Then Allah said, now I'm going to teach you what you cannot do. You can't drink no more. You can't fornicate no more. You can't kill. You can't rob. You can't steal. Why? Because the Muslims' heart, the faith was in there. They believed in Allah. So they were able to comply with his laws now. And then after that, that's when Allah sent down the obligations. The laws of hijab did not come down until after the Battle of Badr. The obligation to pray came down after that too. Y'all understand that? In fact, remember that when the prophet went on his night journey and all of that. So steps. We learned the steps. We learned the steps, baby steps. But everything begins with learning about Allah first. Now, for us Muslims today, let me explain this before I take it further. I see Mr. Famous Personality is here. Lord have a mercy. Hold on, let me make sure. The brother from the Emirates who's a famous personality, he's decided to join. And he types on the screen, explain, don't tell me how to do my class, Aki. I know how to teach. I'm older than you and been teaching longer than you. Hello. You sit back and take notes from me. Hello. Give my salams to your wife. All right. That does not mean, these hadiths do not mean that you can convert to Islam today and say, well, I'm not going to wear hijab and I'm not going to pray until I get my Aqidah together. No. You do just like Brother Edward and Bethany and them are doing. It's our job to, before you convert to Islam, we inform you before you convert what your obligations are. Because once you convert to Islam, you're obligated to worship Allah and obey him immediately. So before you even declare La ilaha illallah, we let you know, once you make that declaration, you got to cover your body up. Once you make that declaration, you got to pray immediately. Once you make that declaration, you got to stop doing drugs immediately. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted into thinking that there's a grace period, that there's a grace period for you sisters to start practicing. No, you practice immediately. But when it comes to knowledge, focus on this, what I'm teaching you. That's why you come to my classes. Because everything that I'm teaching you here at Sunnahfollowers, you're well-rounded. We're teaching you Aqidah. I'm teaching you the Quran with the Mekqasidic Tafsir. We're teaching you the history of Islam with Brother Mukhtar's classes. And we're teaching you how to understand Allah's rules with Sheikh Jamali's classes. So stick to my website. These classes are every day. So that's why some of you, your imams, are sending you here. That's why Mr. Famous Personality is sitting up in here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I refuse to use your name, bro. Because you got some drama going on. Oh, yeah, there's some drama going on with these Daya today. What they call themselves, duat. These duat. I ain't getting caught up in that crap. All right. So, you sisters and brothers, you start practicing immediately. But you focus on getting to know Allah. Because the more your faith, the more your knowledge increases, the stronger your belief in Allah will become. Faith is belief in Allah. Let me let that be known. That's why I asked Precious, what does faith mean? Whenever we use the word faith, we're talking about belief in Allah. Write that down, because English is becoming a forgotten language too. Faith. Faith equals belief in Allah. Write that down. Mr. Famous Personality, when you doing your well better classes, you tell the non-Arabic speaking people that too. Faith means belief in Allah. All right. So our faith or our belief in Allah begins. Oh God, that pops up right on the screen when I was reading. Y'all got that person in so I can finish? Okay, thank you. Our faith or belief in Allah begins with a definite affirmation of the heart. What does that mean? That means you affirm in your heart. Your heart is sincerely in belief in Allah. You believe that Allah is the only one worthy of worship, period, dot. No one else is worthy of worship. Not Jesus, not the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not your husbands, not your parents, not your money, not your job, not your children. So belief in Allah begins with an affirmation within the heart. Your heart becomes sure of what it believes. Your heart becomes even more sure the more knowledge that you attain of Allah. That's why the first step to trigger the affirmation of the heart and the first step towards complete belief in Allah is to get to know Him. We got to know Him. And you're not going to learn about Him unless you learn His names. So in general, seeking knowledge of Allah, that's the first step in developing your belief system. Okay? That's the first step. And how do we develop that knowledge? We use our intuition. We use logic. We use reasoning. Some people use scientific study. When I teach you guys the names of Allah, how do I teach it? I tell you, look at Allah's name, the most magnificent. How does Allah show us that He's the most magnificent? Who else can make the sun rise and set? Who else can cause the rain to fall from the sky and give just enough that's needed to produce growth? So we use our logic, our reasoning, and some people use science to get to know about Allah. And by doing this, we obtain certainty. And this is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, don't just say you believe in Allah. Have certainty of faith. And that certainty of faith can only come from direct revelation. And Allah tells us of Himself through the Quran, the revelation of the Quran. The Quran are the words of Allah. And also our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He tells us of Allah. That's why Islam is only based on two sources, the Quran and the authentic hadith of the Prophet Muhammad. Those are the only two sources of this religion. And so now what I like that Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd did, and this is the best of all his books written. You can see he put a lot into this because the first is always the hardest, okay? He put a lot of effort in writing this book because this is the first part of the Shahada. And what he's done is he's come up with effective ways to develop that certainty of belief in Allah. And it all begins, for example, with spiritual intuition. And I'm going to make this, I know my cousins like to look at me, but I'm going to make this bigger because I want to be able to read this, okay, to you guys. And I want the people to take screenshots. Okay, spiritual intuition. Spiritual intuition involves believing what feels to be true because it puts your heart at rest. It brings about peacefulness in your heart. A lot of people might ask me, Sister Layla, how do I know if the knowledge that I am receiving is of benefit or not? A lot of the new shahadas will say, Sister Layla, I was listening to this person or that person on YouTube give a lecture. How do I know if what they're saying is of benefit? Well, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, does it make you cry? Does it make you want to change the condition of yourself to something better? Does it make you feel at peace? Does it bring your heart to rest? That's spiritual intuition. Spiritual intuition refers to that inner spiritual insight and consciousness that guides us to seek the truth. A lot of the sisters, a lot of you will say to me, oh, Sister Layla, I feel so good learning from you because I've been Muslim all my life, but I never understood. Things didn't make sense. Now it's clear. One sister was talking about how when she first became Muslim, she used to recite the supplication after the tashahhud in English, where the Prophet said, seek refuge from the hellfire, from the Antichrist. And somebody told her, astaghfirullah, you can't do that. You can't recite in English. You got to say it in Arabic. So she stopped saying it. This is garbage. Who said that? Allah is the creator of language. Allah can understand an ant. He can understand a goldfish. If Allah could understand the ant when it said, oh Allah, please save us from Solomon destroying our homes by stepping on us. If Allah could understand what that ant said, what makes you think he don't understand English? That's just ludicrous. So when I told the sister, yes, you can say it in English, she said, wow, the comfort. That's your inner spiritual insight. Your heart, her heart relaxed. It made sense. Remember, we talked about the fitra. We talked about the human heart. There's an angel, for those of you who don't know. For each and every one of us, Allah has assigned an angel to every one of our hearts. That angel that's assigned to your heart, it guides you. It guides you to what is good for you, what is best for you, and what is clean. Whereas the jinn whispers and guides you to the opposite. We have an angel. That's that inner spiritual insight that guides us to reach that which is good and clean and right. So remember, guys, Allah, He's the creator. He created us in His image. What does that mean? When we say that Allah created us in His image, that doesn't mean that Allah created us to look like Him. No. That means that Allah created us the way He imagined us to be, the way He wanted us to be. And He perfected us. And He gave us this inner light known as the fitra that's also guided by that angel to distinguish right from wrong, truth from falsehood. We just have to listen to our heart more. And this is why you will hear people say, follow your heart. Listen to your heart. Every one of us was born upon the fitra. What does that mean? That means every one of us came into this world innocent. It was our parents that shaped us and taught us to either believe in Allah or not believe in him, to believe in him correctly or not. So it's our duty to always try to use that spiritual intuition, because it helps us to develop that certainty of faith. And not only do we have the intuition of the heart that will help us to recognize the knowledge of Allah, but also Allah has blessed us with human intellect. Human intellect. This is a built-in faculty that is very crucial in seeking knowledge. That's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the pen is lifted. The pen is lifted for a person that doesn't have the intellect, for a person that doesn't have common sense. The pen is lifted because you have to have common sense. Through using our common sense and our logic, this is how we evaluate and understand relationships with people, relationships with ideas, and most importantly, how your relationship with Allah should be. So Allah, he created us to worship him. He put us on this earth to be tested in our belief, but he didn't leave us alone at that. He gave us intuition of the heart, and he gave us intellect. How many of us use them? That's the question. When it comes to intellect, we have to make sure that whatever knowledge or whatever logic that we use to come to a decision, it has to be based on what Allah said or what the Prophet said, not anyone or anything else. And this is the problem we see today with Muslims. A lot of this duat, these speakers, they're telling you what Ibn Taymiyyah said, what Ibn Kathir said, what the four Imams said. What did Allah say? What did the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say? How did the companions of the Prophet understand it? Not how Ibn Taymiyyah understood it. He was not a companion. Not how Ibn Kathir understood it. Not how the four Imams understood it. How did those originals understand it? So when it comes to using our intellect, the intellect can fail if we don't base the logic on the Quran and the authentic hadiths. Y'all understand that? Also, another thing Allah gave us, he created us to worship him, put us here on this earth, told us to get to know him and obey him and die in no state other than submission to him. To help us, he gave us that intuition of the heart. He gave us that intellect and also visual observation. Visual observation, it entails seeking knowledge through the lenses, through the eyes. When we learn about Allah, Allah is not part of the seen world. He's part of the unseen world. We cannot see Allah. We cannot hear him either. But he's surrounded us with too many other things that are in submission to him. The sun only rises when Allah commands it. The trees, how they stand going upward, thanking their Lord. How the birds worship Allah every day at sunrise, every day at sunset. Okay? So Allah has surrounded us with many visual things that we can, visual observations that we can make to determine that he is who he said he is. But we have to be careful, just like with intellect. If we use our intellect and not base it on the Quran and Sunnah and what those companions understood, we can go astray. The same with the visual, because Shaitan will play tricks on you. He'll make you think that Allah is talking to you. He'll make you think that see things like Allah is standing in that cloud talking to you. Okay? And when people start believing that Allah is talking to them, that's when they abandon their prayers, like the Sufis. Many of the Sufis don't pray. Many of the Sufis don't fast because they think that they've reached this higher level of Aqidah, so they don't have to. So I'm going to stop right here for today.